Hello, my dears. It is Wednesday, and it's the 2nd of October 2019, and this is my vlog for October. I've decided that I need to answer a lot more of your questions, so I've picked several. It's all on the same topic, and for those who are going to fall asleep, yes, it is on Brexit, but I'm not going to mention anything too controversial, hopefully, but I'm answering some people's questions. So here goes. First of all, I should point out that I've made my position very clear from day one, from 2016. It hasn't changed. Hasn't changed really. So those who want to know what my position is regarding Brexit, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and go view and look at and listen to my previous vlogs. So, Teresa in Manchester. Hello, Teresa in Manchester. Your question is, what is your opinion of the anger in the House of Commons and the question of death threats being sent to certain MPs? Well, it's not just to MPs. I too have received some disturbing messages, and you do sometimes think, should I get myself an armed guard? But no, you just have to ignore it and move on. What I will say is the anger in the House, I think, does reflect the majority of people who are just so, what's the politest term, pissed off, I think, about how long it's taken since the referendum to get nowhere. And so I understand that totally. The games that the current Parliament are playing, and it is games, and if you analyse politics regularly, you will appreciate and understand. And yes, the government of today wants everybody else to be terribly angry so that they will either, one, make the wrong decision, or two, spend too much time banging on about how angry they are, rather than concentrating on either having their own set idea of how things are going to go, or trying to do the things sensibly and properly. And I say that to anyone. If you are very angry about any situation, you don't make the proper decisions until you've calmed yourself down. Right, and Robert from Belfast. Hello, Robert from Belfast. Are you worried about what is happening in Northern Ireland? Well, if it's to do with Brexit and you're talking about the backstop or not backstop or whatever, it is a thorny issue, and I personally am glad I'm not the one who has to make the decision. I think Northern Ireland will have to be treated slightly differently from the rest of the UK just to get over this thorny issue of the backstop. I read today that there has been put forward a suggestion that it is the Northern Ireland Assembly that will make the final decision on the backstop situation in 4 or 5 years' time. If that is the case, I can't see it happening at all. But there we go. What I am worried about with Northern Ireland is that all the appalling atrocities that took place in the 70s and 80s are going to start up again, which is a shame. There we go. Nicola from Hull. Do you think it's good now that immigration from Europe is I can't read my own writing now. Immigration from Europe will be stopped? Well, first of all, it won't be stopped. There will still be immigration from Europe, and there will be others from the UK emigrating to Europe, whether we're in or out. That's just a fact of life. What I will say, there's been all the hoo-ha about immigration from Europe, but it only really counts for about 20%, if that, of all immigration. Because we have people coming in from all countries from across the world. This also brings a point about illegal immigration, and I think most sensible people will say it's the illegal immigration that needs to be addressed. And I give up sometimes, because to me it's quite simple. If somebody is spending £10,000 to get here illegally, then why not let them go through the system we have? There's those who cry out that we need to change our immigration policy, we need to take on the Australian rules, to which I say, no, we don't. We have our own rules. Those non-European immigrants come in on what's called the tier system, depending on their status. And maybe the tier system needs to be tweaked, because it is something that's been in place for many, many years. But I can't see why we can't continue with the tier situation, and perhaps once we've left Europe, we just use the tier situation so that there isn't the free movement that so many people are worried about. Yes, I'd have ships in the Channel or wherever, that those who try and are caught coming in illegally, they're housed humanely on ships and then processed accordingly. And then finally, from Petra in Folkestone, people are talking about civil unrest or even war. What's your view? I think what it is, because things have taken so long, there was the referendum, the answer was we leave, and so as far as I'm concerned, we have to leave. I personally would like to leave with a deal, because to me it's too dangerous and a bit foolish just to jump. But that's my opinion, which you will have heard when you listen to my other vlogs. Will it cause unrest? I think potentially there could be, but it might be goaded by either the media or even the Parliament of today. They want there to be civil unrest, so they can just do or say something provocatively, which could potentially cause that unrest. So I say to people, please don't get angry. This process may happen on the 31st of October, although many people doubt it. Hopefully it does. If not, I'm definitely one to say, well, let's just hang on a little longer until we have our deal. But until then, please do not take up arms. It is something that will sort itself out, and I hope it can be sorted out, because it's taken so long now that nobody knows what's doing, and that's what's going to cause damage to the country ultimately. Well, this is my October vlog, so if we're still here, I'll speak to you in November. Bye.